Okay, hello. I am here also to speak on agenda item number 22. I would recommend Upward Community would suggest that you go with option number 2, which was to both appoint and go through some type of application process. It's of our opinion that you should also include an interview process. I'm not sure if that's standard, but you should include an interview process as well, because it's important that you vet this person. Whoever it is that replaces former council member Curtis Brown is hopefully going to represent the local workforce, because as we've made clear several times during city council, the local workforce isn't represented. I mentioned earlier that there's at least 18,727 people that live here and fall in the category, according again to Aaron Adams, of blue collar or service and farm workers. I know that you don't know who those people are. I know you don't know who they are, and I know you don't know where they live, what their commute looks like, and how much money they have left over after they hopefully pay all the bills. So as part of that vetting process, it's important that you find out whoever this person is that you're interviewing, what is their view on attainable home ownership, because that's important. And even though the local workforce, these 18,727 people, can't show up every other Tuesday, they still deserve, constitutionally and ethically, they still deserve representation. So I would encourage you to figure out what their stance is on attainable home ownership, how much they know about affordable housing, because out of those 18,727, as Mayor Stewart pointed out, December 12th, 2023, there's only 804 units, affordable housing units. And do we know, this is something I'm asking you, something you can also ask the applicant, do we know with those 804 units, how is it broken down? Is that moderate income, low income, very low income? Do we know? Corey came this evening and he spoke about how he doesn't qualify. He's a grocery store worker, full-time, and he doesn't qualify. So where does he commute an hour and a half to move somewhere out in the desert and then commute here so he can serve you when you go to the local grocery store to buy your fancy cakes or whatever it is that you buy? We need to consider these people, and we need to consider them now. It's been 7 years. And the other thing that you need to ask when you go through this vetting process is you need to ask whether the person who wants to represent District 1, if they understand what representation looks like. And if they understand what constructive criticism looks like, because in our experience, a lot of members of city staff and city council don't understand what constructive criticism looks like. They can't differentiate between an attack and a critique. An attack or a statement of fact. Like when Laurel Lamont spoke on December 12th and simply stated something that was told to her by Erica Russo. A restatement of fact is not an attack. And if you feel that it's an attack, maybe you shouldn't have made that statement. I challenge you to point out in any of the video recordings, because Laurel has been here for 7 years, I challenge you to point out a moment when she attacked city council. I dare you. Because we can come up with video recordings of local pastors that come up here and attack. So we know what an attack looks like. And to just say what was told to Laurel, to repeat that during public comments, that's not an attack. And some people earn to the tune of $304,000 as far as a compensation package to represent Temecula and to have to process through when somebody comes up here and has a criticism. Those are important things to consider when you interview. It's important things for a representative to understand, that we all need to accept constructive criticism. And as adults making hundreds of thousands of dollars a year, some of us, we should be able to process through that as grown-ups and listen to each other, empathetic listening. And we listen and we do our research and we do our homework and we relationship build if you will allow us to. Because we seek to work with you to represent the local workforce, not just treat city council as our own private social club. Thank you.
The next speaker is Laurel Lamont, to be followed by Lori Trask.
Okay, so Curtis is going to be replaced. We need to figure out how we're going to do that. And I hope, I'm just going to say ditto to everything Melissa just said. And I hope we seek to do an interview process for an applicant for a representative. How many attainable homeownership options are in that district? The answer, none. Because attainable homeownership is only through Habitat in Temecula, and that is in one district only. So we are landlocked because of city council decisions, because of city council's responsibilities to zoning and planning and accounting for a constituency, a workforce, which is not thought of or accounted for. So I'm hoping that this next representative, and I'm encouraging you as Upward Community, as a grocer, as a single mom, as an advocate, a true advocate who does the homework and shows up continuously and clearly isn't going to go anywhere, to please seek fair and equal representation. We need somebody in those seats who's going to represent everyone and not just their agenda. Because contrary to, I don't know, anybody's popular belief or what I may be thought of, I'm not a Democrat, I'm not a Republican, I'm not a Libertarian, I'm an independent thinker. And I do the homework. So it's not biased. I listen to everybody and I work with a very diverse group of people from all walks of life. Let's get some fair and equal representation in that seat. Thank you.